Hello everyone, I am Sagrika from the Blank Slate and I welcome you all to the 10th session of Kala Se RUBARU, which is an initiative started by us to celebrate Indian craftsmanship. Design has several offsets and every individual carves out his or her niche using his or her immense creativity and potential. So amongst us, today we have Prateek Sabharwal, who is the founder of Escape CREATOMY. So I'll be adding him to the live right now and we can start off with today's session.
Hi, Sagrika.
Welcome to Kala Se RUBARU. I hope everything's going well for you and stuff like that.
Yep, I think everything's going good. Thank you so much for having us on the initiative.
Our pleasure. So quickly starting off with today's session, tell us about Escape CREATOMY and the products and the services that you offer.
Okay, so at Escape, what we do, we are a home decor brand and we are heavily craft oriented in our outlook. So what we, in terms of the products that we create, it's based around home decor, furniture, and pretty much anything that goes in an interior space. So we're going to be trying to cover the whole gamut of what goes into an interior space over time. But so far we started off with home decor and artwork, and we're just getting into furniture right now. So that's what.
So Escape basically branched out of CREATOMY Design, which is your design studio. So in terms of the professional route that you took and in terms of the education, what led to the inception of both?
Okay, that's a good question. So I have formally trained as a product designer and an interior designer as well. It was extremely apologies for that. So starting off in my career, I wanted to always get into furniture design somehow, but I had to take the long route around. So that's where we went ahead, started out an interior design studio because it was a lot easier at that point in time. And having a retail segment and a furniture design segment was always in our plans. So 3 years into our journey as an interior design studio, we decided to go live with the furniture and the home decor and a retail segment. So that's where Escape came in. So I think that's what that's how we've gone about it. And the journey was one where I think the name actually speaks a lot about why we created it. So we wanted to escape from certain things that are a challenging aspect of being an interior design studio. So I think the basic fundamental was that we wanted to work on our own briefs rather than client briefs. So that's where the retail segment was born out of. Yeah.
So you've basically just been a person who has always been passionate about design and interior design, and it's not something that you kind of discovered about yourself while doing something else, or it's just like been always your plan, kind.
Actually, I think I discovered that I wanted to get into something more creative when I didn't want to study for my exams. I think it was pretty much just that. So it was a way to branch out, and I enjoyed it. So it was a good break from the grind that I did not want. So that's what it is. Yeah.
So the identity of a brand basically shines through its logo. So in terms of your logo, how does your logo basically reflect the ideologies of your brand?
Okay. So to answer this question, I'll have to go back to CREATOMY first, which is our design studio. So that's where the parent logo was born. So the logo of CREATOMY actually so CREATOMY was a word that was coined to signify a creative body of work. We wanted to show the connection of creativity and the anatomy. So that's why we chose the fingerprint. And also it resonated very strongly with the handmade kind of craft-based undertone that we like to carry through all of our work. So that's where the initial logo was born, and Escape being an extension of that. We continued to use the same sigil, so to say, and that's what the logo speaks about. So yeah, I think it's about creating our body of work and escaping the client's brief to do that. So that's where we're looking, and that was the kind of thought process in our heads. So yeah.
I think it's interesting as the whole concept and ideology behind the brand is it pretty much has transformed very beautifully into the logo as well. Like it very aptly describes your ideology and your brand, yet it remains abstract in some way or the other. Like the whole look of it is what I mean.
Yeah.
So, getting on to the next question, since its inception in March 2019, you all have come up with several collections of products that are based on different concepts. So, where exactly do you derive the inspiration for these concepts from?
Okay, so I think, it's a difficult one to answer. Sometimes, inspiration strikes, you pick it up and you run with it. But I think, looking back at our collections, it's been focused around our travel largely, at least the last two collections that we had done, where we worked on one collection of textiles based on Como. So we were in Milan for the fair, and we went down to Como, and the illustrations on the buildings really struck us. So that's where we said, okay, let's do a collection on this. And then we came back, we abstracted it out, we picked down the elements that we liked, and then we made it our own. And using very Indian techniques to execute it, I thought that was a beautiful blend between what would be Italian and Indian, and bringing the two things together. And that's what we are as a brand. I think that we want minimal intervention, but something that is meaningful. So that's what we strive to achieve every time.
That is pretty interesting. It's basically like inspiration is anywhere and everywhere. So like in some way or the other. So you say that all your products are basically mindfully created and handcrafted. So how does Escape define mindful?
Okay, so by mindful, what we mean is that we work with craftspeople. We are picking concepts which are seen in everyday world. We are picking out materials which are seen in everyday world. But the way that you bring all of these things together is where the mindfulness comes in. So it's about how you pick a very abstract concept, but you still you stay true to the roots, but you make it your own. So that's where the mindfulness comes in for us. So we don't forget the craftspeople, we don't forget the root of the inspiration. We try and bring it together to still be relevant. I think relevance is very important in today's day and age. So you have to be relevant to today's times also. So the combination of bringing all these things together requires a lot of very fine tweaking, and I don't know, it's just something that comes to us as we go along.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I get that. So can you take us through this whole process of, fixation on a concept to the final product?
Yeah. So when we pick up on a concept, as I said, it's something that just either it just strikes us, or we have to think long and hard and see that, okay, these are 100 different concepts and this is what we want to choose. All right. So in terms of timelines, it really depends. Today I may have a good idea which comes to life in 3 days' time because it's something that just clicks together, or it's something that requires a lot of detail, and we keep going back into it, back and forth on what are the proportions, what are the materials that we're using, what is the style, what are the colors, etc., etc., etc. So it's something that's very organic. Escape is something that it's something that either clicks or we spend a lot of time on. It just depends product to product what we're working on.
Yeah. Right. So, where do you source all the materials from, and where does the whole, in-process work happen?
Okay. So, in terms of sourcing material, again, we try and go to the root of each craft, or we try and get to the source who the craftspeople who are making the products. We don't really go out into stores or retailers or the middlemen ever. We always focus, and I think that is something that means a lot to us, to source product from the source of and where it's made, right? So we may work with weavers sitting in Gujarat. We may work with marble artisans who are sitting in Rajasthan. We may work with metal people who are sitting in the north of India again. Or it may be an antique that we're just sourcing out of a demolition, right? It can be anything. So sourcing has to be from the absolute source. That's number one. And the second question about where the process work happens. So I think the base is always formed at the craftspeople's place. And then we have a series of workshops in Bangalore that have different skill sets. So depending on where the finishing needs to be done, or where different components from different places come together, all of those finishing aspects happen in our own workshops in Bangalore. So that's how we go through the processes. Yeah.
And how much time does it take, from the ideation to actually seeing the final product in your hands?
Yeah, so that is something. So if it is something that we are doing locally out of our workshops, it's something that happens very quickly. But when we're sourcing materials from outside of our, outside Bangalore, then it tends to take some time. So we're working a lot with a very unorganized sector. So that's why sometimes we may struggle with timelines. We may struggle with getting products out. So that's where we are trying to develop our vendors, develop our craftspeople, try and make them aware of these things and get it out. So it's anything. It could be a week, it could be 3 months, 4 months. Depends on what the materials are and what we're looking at.
Okay, right. And are there any particular techniques or, materials or fabrics that you love to play with?
In terms of materials, I think, we treat each and every one at face value. So anything that's organic, anything that has a story, obviously screams out to us. And we like to stay true to the materials that we're working with. So I think I'd have to go back to Louis Kahn when I think of this because a brick is a brick and a brick wants to do what a brick wants to do. So, I think, I need to go back to that. That's something that resonates strongly with what we're doing. So, yeah, and what are our favorites? I think our latest collection is always our favorite, and the next collection is always the one we're anticipating the most. So I think the last products that we put up were a set of marble and metal tables. So right now, I think, we're crushing on those still, and then wait for the next one, and there'll be a different answer in a few weeks' time. So yeah.
Okay. What style do you categorize your products in?
So we would say that we're probably India modern. We are looking at, again, it's very traditional, but with a modern spin on it. So it's, I think India modern would best represent what our products are.
So I think, like you said, your products are examples of the perfect blend between traditional and modern or contemporary. So how do you manage to strike a balance between, between that factor?
So I think it's just about knowing when to stop. It's about knowing, the product, you study the product, you understand what it's all about, and then you have to, again, bring it back into being relevant to today's and what is the requirement of a client? What does a client want today? What does a client need? So keep the roots strong. Stop when you have to stop, and I think that is the most important thing. So with minimal intervention, we try and make maximum impact. I think that's simply how I would like to put it.
I think that is something we all as designers may relate to, when to stop and how not to go overboard with things as well. So, I know
we all operate with. Sorry.
Yeah. So I know you said that, each and every collection, like your latest collection is always your favorite, but do you have like a personal favorite from like all your collections that you put up till now? And describe the process that went behind creating that particular product.
Okay. Personal favorite. So I think the marble collection that we worked on last, it started out with our Mughal collection, right? So we were exploring what we do and what kind of materials to be using, what are the kind of motifs, what are the kind of shapes, forms, etc. So from there we came across this marble vendor, this marble craftsperson who sits in Rajasthan, and from there we took a lot of inspiration from the forms that they work with traditionally, and we asked him to kind of develop on that, and it didn't stop there. So then we went and added on another element. So we brought in Kasa, which is, again, I think it's starting to trend now. So we brought in Kasa into the marble. We blend in that Kasa, the marble, and then something that we always love doing in our interior design studio is metal. Metal is very versatile. I mean, it's heavily underused today, but metal, when finished well, can be really, really beautiful. So I just think that the way that these three elements came together in our last collection, that's something that really worked well for us, and something that is a personal favorite for me even now. So yeah.
I find this pretty informative because I feel like as consumers, we only tend to see the final product or the end product of what is being sold to us. But I feel like the whole process that goes behind the daily hard work that is put into coming up with a product is what kind of, you can say, elevates the experience of a product as well in some way or the other. So, I mean, it's something that a lot of people should just get to know and be more aware about, I think. So, yeah.
I think, even as designers, even for our interior design studio, getting into this retail opened up a whole new world for us. I mean, it opened up a whole new world of materials, it opened up new techniques, it opened up so many things which actually helped us big time in making. So our interior design work has improved a lot because we have all of these avenues that have opened up. We're able to do a lot more things simply because we went into this, and I think that's what that's one of the main reasons why we started this brand, to kind of bring all these things together. And that's.
So where do you display your products and where do you finally sell them? Do you also take part in exhibitions and stuff?
So we are a young brand. I mean, it's been about a year and a half. We've done a couple of exhibitions, and we're doing one a well-known exhibition in December. So that's something that we're looking forward to. That's going to be the platform for us to launch our next collection as well. We have a store in Bangalore. So we have a store that we sell out of. That's our primary point of contact for our customers. And we have a reasonably okay online presence. So I think that's something that we definitely need to push further. And I mean, being social media shy has not really helped me so much. I mean, considering I handle it, but we do have an online presence as well, which caters to a good amount of our customer base.
Okay, correct. So in today's market, which is like a world full of opportunities and options, are there any factors that you consider a threat to your business?
I don't think we really look at this as a business so much to begin with, right? So it's more of a passion project, and we want it to go further. So obviously the commercial aspect is there. In terms of a threat, not really. I mean, machine made is there. I mean, all these other things are there. But I think that handmade has a niche for itself. Good design has a niche for itself. So I think if we stay true to what we want to be doing, and we stay true to our philosophy, I think we'll be good. So that's what we're looking for.
So, like, how do you price the products that you sell?
I would say we are in probably the upper middle range. So I wouldn't say that we are priced high.
Right.
I think we provide value to our customers at the price point that we're selling at. So we make sure that it's important that our craftspeople make money. It's important that our business sustains itself. And we're able to put out new designs. So I think if those things are covered, then it's more than enough. So as I said, it's not purely a business that we're looking at. It's more of a passion project, and to sustain this, whatever we need to make, we make, and that's about it. Yeah.
So do you believe in collaboration and customization according to a client's needs, or do you strictly sell out of the catalog?
No, we do customize certain products where we need to order in bulk, and certain products where certain items we just need to order in bulk, and those things can't be customized. But I think we would make every effort to try and accommodate our clients' preferences. That's something that we strongly believe in from our interior design studio standpoint, and also from the retail. Customer comes first, so we try and give them what they're looking for.
Okay. So there's always a period of struggle, to reach a particular milestone in life. So what was that milestone for you, and what was the struggle like?
I mean, talking about milestones again, it's very nascent, so I don't think we've hit any of them yet. I think, we're still very much in the struggle period. We are, coming out with new products. We are a very small team, so we're coming out with new products. We're trying to do all of the things that come around getting a product into market. So that is a lot of work in itself. So I think we're just enjoying this struggle phase. When we hit our milestones, then we'll probably talk about that. But I think we have a long way to go to get to that point.
Okay.
Right?
So what would you consider your biggest challenge to date, maybe? Or is it every day is a challenge or something like that?
I don't know. I think everything is challenging, but I think you embrace it and try and do your best. So that's how we're going about it. I think social media has been my biggest challenge, honestly. That's
right. And now with the whole situation, it's even more important.
Once COVID came in, social media has been by far the most important aspect of selling products. So I think we're working on it. It's happening slowly. This is the first time I'm going live on Instagram. So, but I think, we're going to work on it, and we're going to get ourselves out there more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So what was the initial capital for your firm, and how did you make it happen?
So I think, we started very small. We started out with a 5 lakh rupee budget. This is all profits that came out of our interior design business. I think we went out, created products. It actually stemmed from a particular project that we were working on, that we needed really creative products for, that we couldn't find the products that we wanted. So we made those products and then said, okay, let's get this out in the market. And then that's basically how it was born. So, I think it was reasonably small, and it was basically buying inventory and buying those products and making it, because it was an expensive product that we started with. That's how we started out.
Okay, so what are you currently working on? What is Escape currently working on?
I think Escape is currently working on something that we can't disclose right now because it's for the exhibition that we're participating in December. So we would like to launch it. We're using the Raw Collaborative as a platform to launch our latest collection. So it's still a little bit under wraps, and we're going to hopefully do well.
We have to wait and watch, basically.
I think December 3rd, 4th, 5th is the dates. That's where we'll see what's next.
Nice. So what would you say to all the future designers out there?
I think stay true to yourselves, stay true to what you believe in, and I think those are the two most important things. Everything else will fall into place. This business is not easy, so I think hard work and determination is what carries you through. So you need to just believe and keep going. I think that's what it is.
Right. So on that note, I'm basically going to end the live session. Thank you so much for joining us and being a part of Kala Se RUBARU. It has been quite an insightful session. It's my first Insta Live session as well today. So,
All right.
yeah.
Thank
So
you so much for having us. I think it's a great
it.
initiative. Yeah. And thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, it was our pleasure. Thank you.